Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Fourth and a Mile podcast. That's Nicholas Elliott. I'm JD Zaza, and welcome back to college football time. We just got through week four? Week four, right? No, week three. We're on to week four. Nicholas, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, man. So the football weekend is getting underway tonight, so can't complain.
Absolutely. We got NFL tonight. But tonight we're talking about college because we already had our NFL episode. It's already up on our YouTube channel. So let's talk about college football. So we had a very, very, very fun weekend of college football this week. A lot of really good games, a game of the year candidate, maybe two, some stinkers, a lot of in between. But we're going to start with our game because we can get that done pretty quick and easy. Alabama, Wisconsin. The game looked exactly like I expected it to be. Alabama came out and destroyed the Badgers. It was not close. It was 38-14, the final. And the two scores for Wisconsin, one was a kickoff return, and the second was a really nice throw by Danny O'Neal, the quarterback for Wisconsin. But that's about it. Nicholas, What were your thoughts on the Alabama-Wisconsin game?
They look pretty solid. Defensively, a little giving up a decent amount of yards, but only allowed one touchdown defensively. So can't complain. Offensively, looked very, very solid. They attacked. The weakness of Wisconsin was the secondary. Wisconsin's run defense was actually very solid.
I expected the run defense to be really good for Wisconsin because they are a Big Ten football team.
Yeah.
Pretty much, if you don't have a good run defense in the Big Ten, then you are screwed. The real question for them was their pass defense, and Wisconsin just doesn't have the athletes that Alabama has.
No.
Alabama's has a three-headed monster right now, a receiver, and then there's some guys that are showing up. But right now it's Jeremy Bernard, the leader, who is probably number 1 or 2 on the Biletnikoff watch.
Should be.
He's up there because he's had a great game in all those games, multiple touchdowns in every game. Maybe besides Florida State. I don't know. I know
I think he had one touchdown in Florida State.
All right.
Pretty sure.
Isaiah Horton, who's been showing out recently, he's been that really just vertical threat and deep threat that Ty Simpson's been looking at. And then Ryan Williams, who came back this week from injury after suffering that late in the game against Florida State, and he looked very good. He had 2 touchdowns, one on a screen to start the third quarter, and the second was I believe a corner or a crosser, where he jukes out 2 defenders by just stopping and then running in. So
should have had a third.
Honestly, should have had a third, but he dropped it.
It was right. It was a perfect read and perfect throw on the play.
Other key players in this game were Ty Simpson, who was efficient yet again, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in football, in college football, I would say. Bray Hubbard, who had a very, very, very nice game today, had a couple tackles, and then had the 2 picks, so he got the bell twice.
Yeah, the picks were kind of huge when you kind of think about it, because Alabama just turned it over on a 4th down, and Wisconsin was across the 50, and immediately after the turn it over on downs, first play pick, and then second time they were driving again and then pick. So
and then Alabama's defense, they gave up a few third downs, but
yeah,
you saw from Wisconsin that they just didn't trust O'Neal, and it was a tough ass.
They needed Billy.
There were some people that picked the under, but Alabama and Bryant Day Stadium against a Wisconsin team that has no identity, it could get really bad. And Luke Fickell could be on the hot seat because this is year 3 and you're not seeing any progress. And year 3 is where you should be able to at least see progress. You haven't seen that in Wisconsin, which sucks for Luke Fickell because I think he's a really good coach. It's just it didn't work at Wisconsin. It's not working at Wisconsin. I mean, what's your take on Wisconsin?
They're in trouble. They need Billy Edwards to come back, and
I don't even think
Maryland this week. It's
I
kind
don't
of
even think Billy Edwards could save this. Like, they're not. I mean, 6-6.
They're favored 9.5 points against Maryland, which is kind of weird.
Maryland's not great though.
Wisconsin is neither. That's like a mid-off. I don't know how.
But this could be a big week for them.
Yeah, it is a big week.
Let's talk about two games really quick because the big news of the week.
Yeah.
UCLA got destroyed by New Mexico. They paid all the money to New Mexico and got killed, which got Deshaun Foster fired. And then Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion and got killed, which ended Brent Pry's run at Virginia Tech. So we got two coach firings this week. It came out either the day after or the next day after. It was one of either Sunday
it was on Sunday.
It was on Sunday for both.
Yeah.
But yeah, both these programs, it was bad. It was ugly for both teams. Like it was.
Yeah, they got smacked.
It was bad. Like,
well, when you're Nico goes to UCLA, gets coach fired. Probably should. I mean,
even then, like UCLA puts all their money into basketball, and they have no life.
They also just don't fit the Big Ten.
No,
they're good at UCLA.
USC needed a package.
UCLA is good at all the Olympic sports. They're not good at football.
Yeah.
They're very good at baseball, softball.
They're a dead program. They're a dead program right now in the NIL era.
Good at track and field. They're good at softball, baseball.
I mean, obviously, they're good
basketball.
At all. And then the other job, Virginia Tech.
No,
I mean,
that's a bad job.
They put money into football. It's just Pry didn't work at Pry. I mean, it started off good for Brent Pry, but then last year was their year that they could have made a massive leap because they had a manageable schedule and they just didn't.
Even then, I don't even know who Virginia Tech would get because that's not a sexy job at all. You're going in the ACC. I don't even know if they could get like a Summerall. They could not.
The best part of the Virginia Tech job is they're in the ACC, and you can take that one of two ways. One, the ACC is not as competitive, not as lopsided as the Big Ten is compared to UCLA. But on the other hand, the ACC, you have no idea what their future is. At least UCLA is safe in the Big Ten.
I think if you're Virginia Tech, you go call like the JMU coach or something. Like you.
I mean, that's what you have to do. Or
find a coordinator somewhere that's good, that's up and coming.
Yeah, like I could see Will Stein from Oregon take that job.
Yeah, someone up and coming. That was really the big news. I mean, the big news of the week. I guess there's some injuries concerns as well.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Let's talk about a coach that probably is on his way out because this was one of the top stories of the week, even though it wasn't a great game like I thought it was going to be. LSU, Florida. Woof.
Yeah.
Woof. I mean,
they had a good plan.
Florida's defense
played really good.
Florida's wasting a really good defense. Every single game that Florida's played and lost, their team has given up, I guess, 20 points. And then what was the score last week against South Florida?
It was like 16-15 or 17.
Yeah, I know. That should be good enough to win 2 football games. Yeah. They've given up 0 points against Long Island, 16 points against South Florida, and 20 points against LSU. That should be
18 points against South Florida.
18, my bad.
Yeah, either way, though, it's still
should be enough to win 3 games. They should be 3-0, but they're not. They're 1-2.
Lagway, besides the turnovers, Lagway didn't even play. 33 or 49, 5 interceptions. Like the interceptions
it was a bad day.
That's 5 possessions you gave up for
Florida,
LSU.
the problem I had with it is when Lagway is struggling, they didn't even decide to run the ball. They just said, Lagway, throw it 40 times because you're the savior. I'm like, he's obviously confused. It's a night game in Death Valley.
Yeah.
It's a night game in Death Valley against a really good defense in LSU, which is carrying them. These two teams are very similar, where their offense are struggling, but their defenses are both really good. The only issue is Florida hasn't shown any life on offense. LSU's shown life. It's not great. But
yeah, I think this would be a good game.
Life.
I'm not really impressed with Nuss right now. Nuss is kind of like the same as Lagway. I mean, besides the 5 interceptions, really like 15 to 27, 220 yards. That's kind of just average from Nuss. I mean, it's not good.
The good news for LSU is if one of your sides of the ball was struggling, at least it's the side where you have Garrett Nussmeier, Caden Durham, Aaron Anderson, Nick Anderson, Barry Brown. Who's the guy that starts with a Z that's there? He's really good.
Xavier Thomas.
Thank you. He's an Ben Rouge kid. But the game was ugly, and the worst thing for Florida is LSU's best player on defense went out early because of targeting. Weeks.
Yeah, and it was 5. The fact you gave away 5 possessions and only gave up 20 points is kind of crazy. Like a crazy lot. Like
I mean, that's the story of the game was the 5 interceptions, but also, and one of the interceptions was a pick 6.
Yeah.
So you're in the game 13-10, and then you throw a pick 6.
I don't know what to think about Florida. Like they are a pretty solid team. They could go in. I could honestly see them like outside of those 5 turnovers. If they play clean football against Miami, they could beat them.
They're still talented enough to beat a ton of teams on their schedule. They get Tennessee. They get Tennessee late in the year at home. They could easily win that game because Tennessee.
Honestly,
it's like Alabama and Auburn. They just play down the competition no matter the year.
They could beat Texas.
They could beat Texas, who looked.
I mean, Texas has not looked good at all.
Ugly. They could beat all these teams, but
yeah,
you can't trust Florida because their coaching. Something's wrong in Gainesville, and it probably is the coaching.
It is the coaching, but last game I really want to put it on the coaching. When you throw 5 interceptions,
and you put it on the coaching, but
yeah.
It's an offense.
Like remember in the offseason when Lagway was not practicing at all because of the injuries and stuff?
Is the
reps getting to him because the 5 interceptions? He's not on the same page.
I guess he's injured.
Like, are we on the same page here? Like the 5 interceptions just because he didn't get the reps in the offseason?
It could be, but I think he's injured. Yeah. This is not the player that I saw last year late. Florida last year, late in the season, I thought was one of the hottest teams in football. I was high on Florida this year because I thought they would be really good. I thought they'd be pretty good this year because I saw it. I saw what they could be. And it's the same question this year. I mean, you see what they could be, but
I think I may have to pick them this week. I could actually see them pulling this off. Like
I could see it too, but I don't trust them.
Like their defense could be good enough to stop. Like we'll get into the preview, but it's like I don't know. I mean, I'm worried about LSU as well. It's like this game kind of like left me with tons of question marks. For
LSU. The real story on the game for LSU was
turnovers.
After the game.
Yeah,
was after the game
and before the game, and after the game. There's tons of fights.
The question I don't remember the exact question they were asking, but
yeah.
An LSU beat reporter in the Brian Kelly press conference after the game kind of posted like, "Hey, you won the game. That's great and all, but what's off on the offense? Like it leaves opportunity. That should be your strength, but what is it that's possibly going wrong?" And Brian Kelly, right after that, went on a tangent. It wasn't the best tangent of the week. We'll get into that one a little later, but
we can segue that into our next game if you want to.
we could, but I want to discuss Brian Kelly. He went off. He went off on beat reporters at LSU. It was a crash out for. It was a great crash out, but it wasn't the all-time best.
I mean, it was a valid. I mean, then again, it was
kind of valid. It was a valid complaint. It's like he's like, look, we won we beat a team. We beat a team in the SEC. We won an SEC game. That's huge, and I do agree with him on that. But crashing out about your offense being bad, it was a valid question. It's like
their run game is kind of bad. So
like it's the same problem as last year. They make Nuss throw it 45 times. They have no run game.
And the only reason why they got over, so the only reason why Durham, he finished with 93 yards, but he really only finished with 93 yards because he had a 51-yard run late in the game. I mean, he really finished with only like 40 yards, but like the 50-yard.
That's nothing's the problem. They have the offense.
It's just their offensive line. Like their offensive line.
Their offensive line's great. Been awesome in pass protection.
Just not run protection. That's kind of like Alabama's offensive line. Their offensive line is not really built for the run, but it's really good with the pass.
I guess.
I think Nuss needs to put it in his own. This is a good week for get right week for LSU because you're playing a really not really good opponent at all.
I mean, their first big test is I guess.
Second big test, kind of.
I'm going to say offensive wise.
Yeah.
Because not this week, but next week, they have a massive test on offense.
Yeah.
For that offense.
Especially in a shootout. It's probably going to be a shootout because Ole Miss.
Probably.
All of those games are always shootouts. And, I mean.
Shout out to Ole Miss who won a shootout game. Like I said, I called it. Shootout.
Yeah, we both called that game.
All right, let's segue into, like we said, Brian Kelly did have a crash out, but he didn't have the biggest crash out of the week. Georgia Tech has cemented themselves in the driver's seat in the ACC. They knocked off Clemson on a 55-yard game-winning field goal to win the game. I was watching this, walking back to my apartment, and there was a TV right outside one of the bars on the strip, one of the new bars on the strip, and
you know what?
It was crazy.
Josh Heupel would take notes of how that game ended right there.
Oh, you can't spoil the next game we're going to cover.
Yeah, but it was a perfect. The ending of the game was it was kind of bad. It was bad clock management and good clock management at the same time because the last couple plays of the game, they were just running Haynes King every play, and they just got like into the 40 or just got to like the 45 or something, just crossed the 50. And then they ran the field goal unit out with like 13 seconds left and got it off perfectly. Yeah. But, I mean, this whole game, Clemson got behind early. They got behind by 4.
The better team throughout the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like where Georgia Tech just wins it late because they were the better. They got lucky, but Clemson outplayed them. They
were up 13-0 to start off the rip.
Yeah. Georgia Tech was just the better team. And Haynes King, put him in the Heisman talks. That guy's a player.
314 total yards rushing.
He had 100 plus rushing.
Yeah,
he put the team on his back for that win.
So, I mean, really, every time Clemson took a punch, like took the lead, they took the lead on that Brian Wesco long touchdown. And then they would stall Georgia Tech's offense, and then Clemson would just have bad throws on like 3rd and short where they could not move the chains.
2 turnovers in the game for Clemson, both on Klubnik.
And then every time
bad on Klubnik.
And then Haynes King had touchdown, and then they 2-point conversion to go up by 7. And then it was kind of like.
But that's a Brenke team at Georgia Tech. They are great on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
They are a gritty football team. Pretty much Dan Campbell's version of
that's a good grit. I knew Georgia Tech was due for a big game like this. And really, I mean,
for
after
them.
this game, they might have the easiest path in the ACC.
I think I picked them to go to the ACC.
Yeah,
I think I picked them to go to the ACC title game. So
I think so.
I
So
wouldn't be surprised.
the rest of their schedule is they get Temple at home, should be a pretty easy win. Wake Forest could be a little testy because on the road, but I mean, not really. Then you get Brent Prylis, Virginia Tech. Duke could be a very, very tough game with Manny Diaz and Darian
Yeah.
Benson. Syracuse coming in, probably not. I mean, it's easy because it's at home, but their offense is really good. And then you got to go to NC State. That's not easy, but then you got to go to Boston College. You have Pitt. So you have no ranked teams in the ACC.
They avoid Florida State and Miami.
Florida State and Miami. You get the weakest of the three of Clemson. I mean, really, it wasn't the weakest coming into the season, but now after the first couple weeks, you get the weakest of the three. You avoid SMU as well. I mean,
that's crazy. Like
then you get Georgia at home to end the season. So I mean,
like an old-fashioned hate.
yeah,
And actually, it's in Atlanta. It's in Mercedes-Benz.
That's like the dumbest thing ever.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
They should just do that for every year. Why are they going to Athens and then they get Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Because that's
not Athens last year. Almost beat them.
I know, but it doesn't. So now they're basically playing a home game for Georgia because they don't get to play on Bobby Dodd. That's
crazy that like Florida State and Miami could meet later this year, and they could probably not meet again until the playoff if everything goes their way, because Georgia Tech's just there, just going, nope, we don't play either of you guys. We play Clemson.
In 2 weeks, we get the ACC showdown in the Panhandle.
But heck, Clemson could get back into this race. Like they're not out of it in the ACC. They got Florida. They still got a lot of games left. But
they have Florida State going to.
The ACC is wide open this year, and it looks way better than past years.
Yeah, 2 teams in the top 10.
But what were your thoughts on the clock management for Brent Key? Because I want to say one thing.
I mean, it wasn't.
I didn't love it. I didn't love it, but I'm also going to give credit to where it's due. The fire drill was perfect. That is a perfect way to do it. What I'm concerned about is they ran the football at midfield, knowing their kicker longest range was 51. They didn't even try to pass the ball, I guess, to the sidelines. Because if you don't, then just throw it away.
Yeah, but they've
closer.
I mean, they've seen their kicker in practice, though. They know he can hit from that range. So, I mean, that's probably just having that's a good coach right there, having the confidence in his guy. I think another thing with field goals and young kickers and just kickers in general, it's like don't talk to him that much.
Don't let him think.
Don't make him think. Yeah, exactly.
Especially in college football, where it's way more common for misses. I mean, you saw in the NFL, Aubrey, even with all that thinking, hit a 64-yarder to send that game into overtime for Dallas. But in college, it's you've seen a lot of kicks. Hell, we saw it with in the game we're about to preview, and you saw it with there's been a lot of
tons of games
missed kicks. Like even last year's playoff game against Texas and Arizona State, Texas should have won that game in regulation, but because of Sark getting in his head and so much getting in his head, he missed it.
Yep.
He just went instinct. Just go on instinct. Kick it. Don't think about it. Just kick it.
Yeah. And then you have Dabo crashing out on Monday saying if he should just go to the beach but he went
to the beach. The thing
it was just a funny troll.
The biggest thing I wanted to take away from that press conference was this. He said, and I'm not saying it directly because I don't remember it. He didn't say anything bad. But he said, why is Clemson live up to the same standard as all these programs when we should be down here? Remember that? Remember this?
Yeah.
I'm like, the Clemson your standard should be high, one of the highest in college football, because you've been to the mountaintop. It's not like, basically he said, why is our standard higher than teams that have not won anything? Well, because you won something. You won twice. You beat Nick Saban twice to get your titles. So yeah, the Clemson standard is huge. The talent you guys have compared to Georgia Tech, Florida State, the only team that in the ACC that compares to you in talent retention is Miami. And even then, Miami's not Clemson. They haven't proved it yet. You're Clemson. But, they're 1-2. They gotta go. They gotta run the table to at least have a chance.
Yeah. All right. In other news, there's another team that's also on life support. South Bend.
Oh yeah. We're getting into the 2 game of the year contenders.
Yeah, let's get to the South Bend first, because
Oh yeah. Texas A&M wins their first game on the road against a ranked team in years. They won a game that they should not have won and is not part of their identity. A Mike Elko team is bowling ball. You run the football and play good defense. That was not the case here. This game was won by Marcel Reed, Casey Concepcion, Mario Craver.
Mario Craver leads the country in receiving.
And Le'Veon Moss.
And a good offensive line. A&M really has a – Colin Klein has kind of like transformed that offense.
The crazy thing is, this wasn't A&M last year.
No.
It's the complete opposite of what Clemson did. A&M and Clemson are very similar teams, but one took a different route than another. Clemson decided, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to go into the bowl. We believe in our guys. We believe that our guys are going to step up. What did A&M do this offseason? They went wide receiver is a very, very, very need for Texas A&M. So what did they do? They decided to go on and go get proven guys in the portal. And that's modern college football. They went out to go get Concepcion. They went out to go get Craver. They went out to go get Amari Niblack, former Alabama Texas tight end.
Yep.
And built their wide receiver game, and it showed. This is why you bring these guys in, to win games like this. So congratulations, Texas A&M. Their fans traveled well. But they're not this. They're going to be a story for a long time because they're going to contend for the SEC. They're really, really. They're a really good football team.
They could make the playoffs.
They're going to get better throughout the year. Reed's going to get better throughout the year. The defense is going to get better throughout the year. So congratulations, Texas A&M. But the big story, Notre Dame.
How about the ending of the game? The ending of that game, they missed a hold on that 4th and goal.
They did, and Notre Dame fans are complaining about that.
But then again,
complaining about
a missed hold.
Where the heck? No, not even that. Not even the Tyler Buckner thing. I don't even think that's the big reason why they lost. No? Yeah, it's like, it should be. That should have not have happened, but I don't blame that game on Tyler Buckner. You're a Marcus Freeman Notre Dame team gives up 41 points.
Yeah, that defense is bad.
The secondary. All I heard this offseason was Notre Dame was one of the best defenses in college football. In 2 games, they got torched.
Mario Craver had like a 93-yard touchdown or something.
Front seven's probably Notre Dame's front seven's probably pretty good. Like that wasn't that bad. Secondary, where the heck is everyone? I get you lost Benjamin Morrison, who was great, but you're Notre Dame. You should Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame. You should be backfielding team.
Be fundamentally sound.
And defensive players like Georgia is, but nope. 41 points really at home.
Yeah, that's. We both said this game would be in the 20s and times 2 that.
No one would have predicted this because these 2 teams, that's not their identity.
Notre Dame's offense is really solid.
Yeah,
CJ Carr looks really good.
But Jeremiah Love's not doing anything. They put 2 games on the back of CJ Carr in his first 2 starts.
It's because they got their first.
And if it wasn't for CJ Carr's been one of the best quarterbacks in college football these first 2 weeks, but he's
I
had
think
no.
that's, I think that's what their reason is their offense.
No,
They got a good passing quarterback now, so now they like try to change their identity on offense.
no, I don't get that. You have Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
This was not a Notre Dame team, and they're 0-2, and they're still ranked.
Yeah, that's
The bad thing for Notre Dame is they can miss the playoff because all their good wins coming up are probably not going to be that great. These were the 2 weeks where you had to win at least one of these games and hope. But now Notre Dame's got to go undefeated. I mean, your best bet.
I mean, it's not going to be easy.
Your best bet at your best win, even if you run the table, is
Arkansas and USC.
I would say USC.
USC would be the best win, but Arkansas, I could see Arkansas beating them.
Maybe, but I mean, it's a bad look for Notre Dame.
Yeah,
it was a great game.
Really good look for A&M though.
Yeah, A&M's in the top 10 and well deserved. Elko's done an amazing job.
Elko's got to fix the defense a little bit. I guess they have a whole new front seven. It's like they lost a lot of like their D line.
They lost all their key players. So I was kind of expecting I wasn't really expecting the defense to be this bad to start out, but I expected it not to be great.
I think it'll get better by the year.
But I trust Elko because I think he's one of the best coaches in college football. All right. Yeah. And who I think are better coaches? Probably these two guys that we're about to talk about. Tennessee, Georgia. This was my favorite game of the week. Not just because of who lost, because this was two rivals to Alabama. I thought this was a game of the year. This is my game of the year so far in college football. This was an outstanding football game. And one team had to lose. And unfortunately for Volunteers fans, and to chagrin of me as a diehard Alabama fan that bleeds crimson, I enjoyed that. But I'm not trying to be an Alabama fan here. I'm trying to be a college football fan. So taking my bias out, let's go through the game.
Yeah, Joey Aguilar came out on fire in the first quarter.
Joey Aguilar looked awesome. And throughout the game, he looked awesome.
Yeah.
Georgia had no answers early. 21-7 right out the gate. It went
like 200 yards.
Bang, bang.
He had like over 200 yards in the first quarter.
They couldn't stop Chris Brazzell and Mike Matthews. Georgia couldn't stop him. They were picking on what's his name? I wrote about him too. Cornerback that I was telling you about. They were torching.
Forget his name. He's a freshman.
Ellis Robinson.
Yeah.
Ellis Robinson, former 5-star cornerback, one top corner in the nation. They were picking on him the entire game. It was very much like 2022 Bama versus Tennessee. It felt like that through the entire game. But Georgia, give credit to them. Their offense showed up. Gunnar Stockton had himself a football game. And they had the receivers. Georgia's receivers came in huge today, or yet Saturday. Zach Branch had a few really nice plays, one touchdown. Colby Young had a nice day. Dylan Bell, London Humphreys. Georgia's receiving game. This was a great game for Georgia fans who are looking at like, can we win a game out of our comfort zone? And turns out, yeah, you can.
Yep.
Tennessee. Josh Heupel is one of the best coaches in college football. But he learned a very important lesson today that Kirby Smart learned many times. Many times, even before this. You got to cut the head off the snake. Georgia, Kirby Smart had to learn it from Nick Saban. Georgia was up so many times on Alabama, but Alabama came back in all of them. And now Heupel's learning that lesson with Georgia. Tennessee had them. They were so close So close to cutting the head off the snake, but they let their foot off the gas pedal and got conservative. It got conservative late, and you cannot do that against Georgia. You can't do that against Kirby Smart and Georgia.
Back-to-back.
Alabama learned this last year. We were both at the game. Alabama learned it. The board learned it. Luckily for Bama, they survived. They survived, but Tennessee wasn't that fortunate. Georgia on a 4th and 8, game on the line. Gunnar Stockton throws a beautiful, beautiful ball to London Humphreys, and they score the game. They score that and get the 2-point conversion to Zach Branch. But good news for Tennessee, they get enough time to go down to the field. They get ready for a 38-yard field goal, but then false start. But then a false start happens.
Yeah, the rest is history.
And the rest is history. 55 yards out, they miss it. They miss it wide.
I thought it was from like 40.
Maybe. I thought it was like 50.
Maybe from 50. It was less than it was.
But I remember watching this game after the false start. I was like, oh no, Tennessee's going to lose this game. I just had a bad feeling about it for Tennessee.
And then this is the second straight year where Heupel's had a 10-plus point lead against Kirby and still lost the game. I think they came out hot on offense and kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit. You can't do that in the SEC, especially with a team you haven't beaten in 10 years. You got to. Yeah.
And then in overtime, Tennessee kicks a field goal. Georgia runs the football. They win the game.
Yep.
Georgia survives a shootout and the game of the year, in my opinion. To start the year, Tennessee fans, it's now at not 10 or 9. We had 10 or 9 now.
No idea, but I actually feel really good about Tennessee for the rest of the season. I feel
like that's what I was getting into. The good news for Tennessee is your schedule is pretty workable, and
their offense is well exceeded expectations already from what a lot of people.
The issue though is their defense.
Yeah, but their defense is not terrible. It's pretty solid.
No, but
they got a good front seven. They're still getting healthy. They missed a couple of their guys were out.
I was surprised how bad Tennessee secondary got torched.
I think they still don't have Jermon McCoy. I think he might still be out.
I guess, but
yeah,
it wasn't great for Tennessee. But the good news for Vols fans is they are still in the hunt. They can still, all their dreams are still up there. Like they could rematch Georgia and Atlanta for all we know. We have no idea. They can make the playoff. We have no idea. Your biggest question was, can Joey Aguilar play in these big games? And the answer is yes. He did everything. Joey Aguilar was not your problem. Tennessee fans know that wasn't their problem. Yeah, he had an interception, but when you give up 41 points, you should lose a game. That was the final score, right? I know they gave up 40.
It was a 3-point game because they didn't. It was like 45-42, I think.
When you give up 44 points,
44,
you lose a game. You lose a football game. You should lose a football game. All right. You have any final thoughts on week 3? Because we are 40 minutes in and we have not even got to week 3 yet. Or week 4.
No, I think we can go ahead and move on.
All right. We are 40 minutes in, and because week 3 was so good, we took 40 minutes.
Yeah, now extended episode.
This week is not the best, but not the worst. Like, we all thought week 2 would suck, and that turned out to be an upset-filled circus. So maybe that's this week, but we'll see. What game do you want to start with in week 3?
Probably the game of the week.
Game of the week.
Well, there's another good. There's a lot of decent games. I would say the game of the week in the SEC. Probably not the game of the week around the country. Auburn heading for its first. I would say second big road test heading into Norman. Jackson Arnold homecoming game.
Jackson Arnold against Oklahoma. What is your Nicholas, what is your take on this game?
Auburn's going to have to win this game throwing the ball. They've kind of been one-dimensional with Jackson Arnold so far. Arnold needs to win the game with his arm. He's been really good with his legs so far, but going against Brent Venables' defense, you're going to have to do a lot more because they're going to contain you in the pocket really well.
Yeah.
And they know all your weaknesses. They know your strengths. They're going to stop the run. They're going to stop your QB run, have a QB spy on you, not let you get out of the pocket. Cam Coleman.
This is going to have to be – Auburn's going to win this game on explosive plays. If they hit the explosive plays, they'll win. If not, this is good. I don't like the spot for Auburn at all.
No, Auburn's secondary.
I like Oklahoma here a lot more.
I'm worried about Auburn's secondary.
They're way more balanced. Their defense is one of a top 5 unit in college football. Mateer's playing great. I don't love the spot for Auburn at all because they're one-dimensional, as you said. But Auburn could easily win this game. The way they do it, though, is explosive plays because I haven't seen anything from their defense that can show me they can stop Mateer.
They can't stop the passing because Sawyer Robinson threw like over 400 yards against them. So, I mean, Mateer might have a day in the air.
And that was against Baylor receivers. Now you get Oklahoma's receivers, which are just as good, if not better, than Baylor's.
And you get an offense that likes to pass with coming from Washington State and a pass-heavy offense. So
I don't like the spot for Auburn at all. If this was in Jordan-Hare, then I'd probably pick Auburn in the upset, but it's in Norman. Jackson Arnold's return. I don't like the spot at all for Auburn. None. Mm-hmm. And that's not even me being a Bama fan. It's kind of like against Michigan where it's like, I don't like the spot. I just don't like it. Again, Auburn could easily win this game and zip me up, but I'm going to go with what my gut says and what I see with my eyes. And my eyes say that this is going to be a brutal game for Auburn. And if they win this game, it will be on the back of Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton if he plays because he's questionable. That's my take on Auburn, Oklahoma. Explosive plays have to win. You have to win that.
All right. Let's head into another SEC game to where we really won't know what happened. I mean, South Carolina comes into this game getting dominated by Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt. Heading into Missouri with Bo Pribula, who's actually looked really solid, really underrated. SEC.
It's a night game in Missouri against two teams that are on the rise in the SEC. South Carolina, you know what South Carolina is. The question for this game is, does Lenore Sellers play? And if so, how healthy is he? He got injured in the Vanderbilt game early, but even then they were kind of outplayed anyway by Vanderbilt, which is surprising. I mean, Vanderbilt's a legitimate contender in the SEC who would have – welcome to 2025, people. Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech are really good. The nerd schools are good. Welcome to 2025, people. All right. South Carolina, Missouri. What are your thoughts on this game?
If Sellers plays, it'll be a close game. If he doesn't, they might be in for a long evening.
My take on this game, the difference will be what linus will be run game. Can South Carolina stop Ahmad Hardy? Ahmad Hardy's been one of the most underrated players in college football this year. He's looked awesome. And if South Carolina can stop him, then I think they could win this game even with a backup. Because I want to see Missouri get tested. Because they didn't look great against Kansas. They did not look great. That was way closer than I thought it was going to be. I get it was a rivalry, but I didn't love what I saw from Missouri, especially on their defense. Purdue has obviously been really good, but I think South Carolina could easily bounce back. It just depends on the health of Sellers. That's all it depends on.
You want some breaking news?
I'm not going to overcomplicate things with some of these games. Some of these games are pretty obvious. Like, what's the big storyline in Auburn, Oklahoma? Jackson Arnold's return. Like, if he plays good, Auburn wins. If not, no, they're not.
Yeah, I'm worried about South Carolina.
In this game, if Sellers plays, then they could win. If not, Missouri's Missouri's going to keep rolling.
Outside of Sowers and Dylan Stewart, like I think I said this.
Harbert is just untapped potential. Like that guy could be the best receiver in football, but nothing. I have seen nothing.
I said this.
His best play was against Alabama, which I saw on the field, where he got it really close for South Carolina. That was his best play. Nick Harbert I want to see Nick Harbert break out because he's so talented. I just don't know if it's this game.
I said it before the season that Carolina was kind of overrated outside of because they have Sellers and Stewart. Nobody really has stepped up.
Arguably the two best players in the SEC, but
you want to go on the road and beat a solid Missouri team, your other players have to step up here.
Heck, Alabama had this scenario too. We had Will Anderson and Bryce Young in 2021 and 22, but look where that got us.
Let's head down to.
And then the final game we're going to talk about is where game day is going, which I was kind of surprised with. I mean, obviously they don't want to go to Norman, but I thought they'd go to like Indiana or something.
Yeah.
Illinois, Indiana play. But I'm okay with this because I don't know if Miami's ever going to get another game again because all their other big games are on the road. Miami plays Florida. Battle of Florida, part 2. Part 2 of the battle for Florida. South Florida's 1-1. Miami's 1-0. Florida State hasn't played a team from Florida yet. One of the teams from Florida yet. And Florida is 0-1. This game's in Hard Rock at night. ABC got Chris Fowler and Herb Street. Hopefully Fowler's voice is all good after Monday because please.
Yeah, that was bad.
He's one of the greats. One of the all-time greats. Please, Fowler, be okay. Your voice be okay. All right. This game, do you want me to start on this game?
I think this game will be one which defense steps up. Because I think both, and if Florida wants to win this game, no turnovers, limit turnovers, and try to slow down Carson Beck and company. Because Carson Beck and company have been on fire through these first 3 weeks. I mean, nobody's been able to stop them. I mean, they dominated South Florida. And their defense is looking really solid as well. I mean, it's just a sound team. That's Mario Cristobal's team. They're usually sound. He's just now getting them disciplined. I mean, he's really starting to put his name on that Miami program.
Yeah. This is Miami's most complete team.
Yeah.
Probably in Cristobal's era, which is crazy to say. But the spread on this game is 7.5. 7.5 Miami. So, where do I see this game? Ruben Bain is the best player on this field. Ruben Bain Jr., number 4 from Miami, he's the best player on this field. On both sides. He is a monster. He's going to be a top 10 draft pick. He's awesome. He's the best player on this field. Florida could easily win this game. Like, I would not be surprised if Florida finally just gets it clicking, gets something to click, because they've been so close to getting it click. Again, Florida fans are out on Napier, and probably rightfully so, but they just need to click. And what if they click against Miami and upset them?
They upset Miami, head into a bye week, and beat Texas. Then Napier's job is back on because.
But again,
it's on a run.
Do you trust Billy Napier to get his team ready to roll after a devastating loss to LSU, a devastating loss to South Florida, and now you're going to Miami with all their fans saying the U is back?
I think they'll be ready, but it's more so if their players will be ready. If DJ Lagway is ready, if he's prepared, like you can say all you want about
Miami needs to take this game extremely seriously.
Like
more so than South Florida, they need to take this game extremely seriously because Florida has the talent to compete with Miami.
Florida fans can say, "Oh, we're finally free of Billy Napier," but it's like, look, Napier didn't lose you that game on last Saturday. I mean, quarterbacks inexperience kind of came in. I mean, Lagway is really talented. He's still inexperienced. He didn't get an offseason. So, I mean, but this game will be under the lights in a hot environment. It's kind of, I mean, the environment, there will be a lot of Florida fans there.
It's a Florida game.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Miami in this game because I just trust their coaching more. I think they're a more complete team. They run the ball pretty good. They're efficient on offense. Their defense has been one of the bright spots of the year. Could they get torched? Of course. I mean, it's not like the best secondary in the world, but it's manageable. And that's all I really need from Miami. So I've got the U winning this game. I do have
Miami winning, but it might be close.
I have Florida covering.
Yeah.
What about you?
Same thing. I think Florida covers, but Miami wins. I think it might be a field goal. It might be like how the Notre Dame went. Though Miami might get off to a really odd start. Florida comes back.
Yeah. Can Florida weather the hurricane, especially at first?
All right. Last week we both had the Texas A&M. We both picked Texas A&M over Notre Dame. I picked Georgia Tech over Clemson. And I mean, we were really
right. That's right. I picked Georgia Tech, but then I was like, it's Clemson. Like they're not.
Yeah.
Not going to happen twice. And
we both got USF wrong. They got destroyed.
Darn.
And then we both got South Carolina wrong. So we really got 2 games.
Well, we tied.
I think you got 3 games wrong. I got 2 games wrong.
All right, that's solid.
But let's head into week 4 of picks. All right.
Let's do it.
Here is big noon kickoff on the West Coast. Texas Tech, hot off the press. I mean, they're all over.
They look good so far.
Very good recruiting going so far. Very good in the portal. And they're heading into Utah, which Utah has 2 top 10 picks down the offensive line. And they're really well coached.
Looked really nice.
Yeah, this is like a.
I've got the Utes winning.
Yeah, I got Utah winning this game as well. But
my mother went to Texas Tech, so I'd like to see the Red Raiders win this game. But I think Utah at home, one of the most underrated environments in college football to go to, Utah.
Yeah, and it's in the morning.
Yeah.
But the thing with Texas Tech, their offense is explosive. Brandon Morton, he's a very, very solid quarterback. But I think I trust Utah's the better coaching and more experienced coaching.
Yeah.
All right, Auburn heading into Oklahoma.
OU. I already explained why I don't like the spot for Auburn.
No, they're secondary. Secondary worries me. All right. Isn't this the what's this rivalry? SMU TC? Isn't that the Skillet?
The battle for the Iron Skillet, or the DFW Metroplex rivalry, as I like to call it. This is the last Iron Skillet game, at least for now. I mean, it probably will come back, but it's the last Iron Skillet game for now.
This game will probably be another shootout.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Fort Worth, but that's not really saying much because SMU fans are going to travel. I've got the Ponies.
Wow.
Ponies.
I mean,
the Ponies need it more.
SMU's kind of struggled. They lost to Baylor in overtime, and they were kind of a struggle win last week against Missouri State, so they need it.
Yeah, they need it.
Here's an interesting game. Here's our spread pick of the week. Do you have Tulane covering 13.5, or does Ole Miss win by 2 touchdowns?
Tulane covers.
Yeah.
Tulane covers, and no, I'm not going to say it. I really want to, but I don't think so. Tulane covers, though.
I want to take Ole Miss, but their defensive problems are very, very showing.
It's Pete Golding.
Like, their defense is awful. They cannot.
And as Alabama fans, we know exactly what.
Here's a very
peak on defense looks like.
This game can be very interesting. Battle of two really two young quarterbacks. The Bussin' with the Boys rivalry game.
Bussin' with the Boys Bowl.
Michigan at Nebraska.
Nebraska gets back on the map. They win this game. Nebraska.
I don't know why Michigan is
At home.
favored in
It's
this
their
game.
biggest game in God knows how long.
I don't know how Michigan's favored in this game, but
I mean, it's almost a pick 'em. It's basically
they're without Sharon Moore too because his suspension started.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically a pick 'em. It's like Michigan -1.5. That's basically a pick 'em.
It is, but it's kind of weird. Why would I would have Nebraska favored just because
I wouldn't. I get why Michigan's favored because again, blue blood, they're proven. Yeah. I've got Nebraska though.
Heading to Columbia for night game.
No, I thought it's in Missouri.
Yeah, Columbia, Missouri.
You should have specified.
Hey, Battle of Columbia.
This game, Missouri, even with Sellers.
I like Missouri, man. Drink is a great coach.
Missouri, right. even with Sellers, I like Missouri.
I think we both have our picks for this game, the college game day game. We both had Miami, but Florida covers. All right, here's where it gets interesting.
All right. What we got?
Night game. Illinois. Brett Bielema heading into Bloomington. This game is – I'm having a hard time kind of picking this game because –
I thought this is where game day was going to go, to be honest. Yeah. I haven't watched either of these teams.
Illinois has played Duke so far. Indiana has not played anybody. And this could be a – this is really like this is right Signetti's first shot at a big win because, I mean, like they didn't get any top 25 wins last year.
This is Illinois' like big year. Illinois.
I like Illinois because I like Lou Altmaier and Brett Bielema, but give me the home team. Give me Indiana. I don't know why. I like Fernando Mendoza. He's a very solid quarterback.
I think Altmaier just plays better, and I think Illinois' defense is legit.
Yeah, they're without their top corner, I'm pretty sure.
I think you could tell me that. I still have Illinois, though.
Yeah, I mean, but that'll wrap it up.
I'll wrap it up.
Here's something we can talk about for next week because it came out just recently because the SEC announced the SEC schedule is going to be for next year and is coming out, and the 3 permanent opponents will be out on Tuesday. So next Thursday, we can.
All right, do you want to make a prediction really quick on what Bama's is going to be?
Yeah, it was announced by Brendan Marcello.
Tennessee, Auburn,
LSU.
It should be Mississippi State, but it's going to be LSU.
Yep.
I wanted to be Mississippi State because my sister goes there now, but no, it's going to be LSU. Alabama LSU is like the best game like every year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be Tennessee, Auburn, LSU for Bama.
All right. I'll wrap it up.
I'll wrap it up for the 4th and a Mile podcast for Nicholas Elliott. I'm JD Zaza. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.